I've always told people that I consider myself an adventurer. I use the bicycle to go from point A to point B and point C and D. I don't like to be boxed in as a cyclist because I want to experiment everything. My name is Eric Cedeno. On social media, people know me as the Bicycle Nomad. When I started traveling by bicycle, I said, who were the first people that traveled by bicycle? Why did they do it? How long ago was it? And I discovered a lot of 1890s expeditions all over the world that were pretty cool. One person, two people team. I'm like, that's pretty cool. And I started looking at the bikes and some of the places they went, and I just couldn't believe it, that it went that far. And somehow, through my research, I discovered the 25th Infantry, the Bicycle Corps, and I said, wow. At that point, I haven't seen photos or videos of black cyclists traveling, so I thought it was gold. I saw, wow, people that look like me traveled by bicycle a long time ago. This is the 1897 expedition from Fort Missoula, Montana to St. Louis, 1,900 miles. This is the original map.
Doing this route, he's also going to tell the story of these soldiers and what they had to go through in the terrain. And I mean, I want him to be able to shine light onto a story that like a lot of people haven't heard before.
And out of all the expedition, for me, that was important because at that point, I have not seen anyone of color traveling by bicycle. I'm sure it happened, but maybe it wasn't documented for many reasons. But this was, and because it was done by the Army, and because they traveled with a journalist, the story was, I was able to find a lot of information. 12 years ago, I became fascinated. Some people said obsessed with the history of the 25th Infantry Bicycle Corps.
And because of the way, I mean, he's such a great speaker, also his presence, and I feel like whenever he speaks, people are very captivated by it. Like, he is the one to tell the story. And he can also put in the miles too. So you have the person that's actually executing the route and then creating the route, telling the story.
Oh, wow. Been waiting for this. All right. I've been inducted as a member of the Buffalo Soldiers for the work that I'm doing along the Bicycle Corps, 25th Infantry. It's definitely an honor. On my membership card. This has helped me a lot recreating the route as a synopsis of the trip in 1897 from June 14 to July 24th, and I'm able to tell exactly what happened each day, weather, grade, condition of the road. This has helped me tremendously with recreating the route. It started as a bicycle trip. I was fascinated with their bicycle, but now it's going personal. It's going personal, and it's what I was telling you about, that for me it's about their dignity, you know. There was part of the history that a lot of people don't know. Some people know about the Bicycle Corps, some people don't. And the deeper I go, the more information I find out that they were not given the dignity that they deserve.
The new trip is important because it's the 125th anniversary of the infantry, and so it's important that he goes this year and not delay, because we don't know what's going to happen next year or the year after, especially with like our family growing. And so I feel like now I'm in a comfortable place where I can kind of like hold it down with me and the baby, and he go on this epic adventure. And yeah, it's going to be historical. This is like almost like kind of a part of his legacy that he does this. And so yeah, I think it's very important that he goes now versus like waiting, because we don't know what the future holds, you know?
Because it was done by the Army, everything is documented very well. And it was also an experiment. It was an experiment that Lieutenant Moss wanted to work.
Historically, I know that this is of significance. I'm an African-American woman, and I just figured if no one else is writing this, then you have to write it. You have to be the person to do this, the trailblazer, because first of all, you physically can do it. Secondly, you have the passion behind you. And so I want to see him complete these historic routes. I don't know anybody better to represent these routes. Every time he comes back from a ride, it makes him a more present person, you know, more present, in day-to-day life, and with helping me out around the house. And maybe because he missed us, and then he got to go within and, you know, figure things out within himself. So when he comes back, it's you know, a fresh new Eric.
So the route, I've been working with historians, and I also worked with a friend of mine who lives in Missoula, Montana, Arlen Hall. He actually used to work for Adventure Cycling, and he was the director of touring. Collectively, we have built this route. It's very, very close to the original route. Now, the original route is hard to travel because there was a lot of public land compared to now. I will have to go through people's backyard and living room. So this is the Niner RLT 9 Steel. The RLT means the road less traveled. So this bike is built for expeditions. I prefer steel for expeditions because it handles well. Also is able to take the pounding with the weight that I'm taking. My hope is to tell their story and to keep the story alive. You know, this is a story that hasn't been told, and for me, it needs to be told. You know, the original bike packers, I call them. Actually, I started using the hashtag, the original bike packers, because you know, people are like, oh yeah, bike packing started in the 80s, or no, these guys were doing it in 1897. You know, so the frame bags and the handlebar bags, the stuff that people are using now were used in 1897. So that story has to be told. But it's very close to the original route, and what was important for me for this first trip was to start when they started, to pay homage to that, which is June 14 of 2022 at 5:40 in the morning. They also finish July 24th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon at Forest Park in St. Louis. So it was very important for me to start and finish when they did it.